Hey, welcome to the intern experience. I'm Shayna Lay, product security intern.
And I am Jaco Slipoy, inside sales intern. Here, we will gain perspective from interns in various locations and departments on their personal experiences at McAfee. This week, we let the interns loose. We started doing a lot more independent activities, ramping up, as I call it, into our actual positions. Shayna, how was your week?
So my week actually started off a bit mundane. It was just trying to get an idea of what my project is going to encompass, the scope of it, what tools I'm going to need. And it turns out that I was thinking about it entirely the wrong way. So I had I touched base with my manager and he explained it a bit better. So he just said, okay, so here's what we meant by this. And then he just let me loose. He said, okay, here's what we generally do, but if you find a method that works better, go for it. And yeah, that's been pretty much my ramping up in terms of my projects so far. How about you?
Um, it was about the same experience. So not so much mundane. I mean, every time I call on somebody, it's definitely a different person. It is always an interesting job to be in, but we were definitely given the proper amount of time to figure out all of the systems that we were using. It was, like I said, a ramp up into our real position. We weren't given the full amount of calls that we would be doing just yet. It was more so dipping your toes into the pool and um, seeing what you were comfortable with, is how they put it. I got a couple opportunities this week, so that was awesome. I got two opportunities in my very first week. Honestly, it was almost like my very first day, real day on the phone that I got those. That was really exciting. It was a rush, let me tell you. But yeah, besides that, ramping up has been a lot less stressful than I first thought. A lot of times I know I've been thrown to the wolves, so to speak, when starting in a sales position. You have to learn the product, but on top of that, you got to keep up your call metrics. So I'm happy that the call metrics were reduced so that we were able to continue education, so to speak. Now, with that having been said, I am excited to be calling all day long too. I want to be able to bring in the pipeline to McAfee and really show that, I'm here to contribute as soon as possible. I don't want to take time to get to that point. I'm ready and I'm here to play game.
Yeah. So speaking of contributing, my my team, the product security team, they really want to bring me in on stuff pretty quickly. I mean, I say quickly. We've been at McAfee for coming up on a month now, but one of our team members, he is going to be leaving at the end of this month. So what they propose that we do is that they take all his cases, so all of these issues he's tracking and responding to whoever's reporting the issue, and transferring them over to me. So for one, that just kind of seems like a big task. It seems a little intimidating because you have this full time employee who's been working here for a while, like much longer than the 12 weeks we have here. And then suddenly I'm kind of being put in the driver's seat of that and being told, okay, so we're going to make you responsible for this. And we're just going to trust you off the bat. Of course, we're going to like guide you through it. We're going to make sure you like have an idea of what you're doing. We're going to make ourselves open to you to if you have any questions regarding if something should be done this way or that. Um, and yeah, I mean, it feels like I'm getting thrown in with the sharks, but I know that they kind of have that life ring out there for me. So it's not completely, I'm not flailing in the water. I have like a lifeline.
I like that. I think that ties into one of the core principles, innovation without fear. That directly speaks to innovation without fear, everything you said. So it's very cool that McAfee not only puts out all of these great company traits, but actually abides by them too. I think that is incredible.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, I mean, as intimidated as I am by like these tasks being thrown at me, so like, or not thrown at me, but so like my project to compile an application inventory as well as taking on these daily operational tasks of like full-time employees. But like as an intern, it makes me feel like I'm full-time, but it's also it again, it's daunting. It's a lot of information to take in, a lot of learning I need to uh, get done in such a small amount of time. But I definitely appreciate the like opportunities to learn, even though it is a bit scary just getting like rushed with all this very specific information.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of specific information that I am still having to, build that knowledge of. But we actually got our first project, and that was to create a competitor analysis of a McAfee competitor. So I would be comparing I think I'm going to do Zscaler most likely. It seems like that they're a pretty top contender with McAfee right now. So I was going to do that, and I've actually set up meetings with um, 4 sales engineers in order to, kind of pick their brains to, of course, they're going to be a better resource than what I know myself at the moment, but I'm excited to be able to actually sit in and get demos from people who have been using this product for so long and know every single detail of it. So that's definitely not something that I've had the opportunity to do with a application that I've been selling before ever. And now that I think about it, I think that's pretty silly to, sell something and never have seen it before. But that just goes to show how far McAfee goes to really provide you with all of the resources that you need to complete your job.
Okay. On the topic of resources, what would you say is one of the, or what would you consider to be one of the most helpful resources you've come across in like, learning how to do your job essentially?
The biggest thing that I can recommend to anybody is find somebody who has been in your position and has moved on to the next role. You should always be asking yourself, okay, what next? And once you start doing that, you can have an interview with these people, have a one-on-one with them, and see what made them stand out in their past position that you are currently in. See what metrics they pulled. See if you can accomplish those same metrics. See what actionable goals that they took. See if you can mimic that. And everybody is so willing to have that conversation. Everybody's so willing to welcome somebody who wants to be on that team onto their own team, whether you are or not. I just had a meeting with a team that I have no part of in essence, but they invited me to, kind of come along and learn with them in some role plays and sales role plays. And I just thought that to be so gratuitous. I mean, that is amazing.
Okay, cool. Uh, um, I think that's about all I got for this week. What about you?
That's all I have too. I mean, I need to get to bed. I am getting
Dude, it's
tired
like
back here.
it's like
It is
8, 7
my
actually.
bedtime now.
Really?
I used to go to bed at 6 a.m. Now I wake up at 6 a.m.
Okay, my schedule hasn't it wasn't as bad as that usually. I think I would go to bed around like 2 a.m. and wake up around 6:30. Yeah, sounds about right.
And what are we looking forward to next week, Shayna?
So we're going to be taking a look at diversity and inclusion as it occurs in McAfee. So we're hoping to bring on a couple of the other interns as well as anyone else who'd be interested in joining the conversation. So Yeah.
Tune in for next week for that very important topic.
Who's leading?
Hey.
You know, we should establish who should lead because I was watching you and I realized when you were watching me, waiting for one of us to start.
Everything hurts.
It's recording, by the way.
Okay. That better not be a blooper.